Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. Now today we are joined by somebody, and no, it's not the Invisible Man. It is somebody that you know and love, Mr. Chris Horne, but he's not here. No, he is all the way in sunny, actually quite rainy, Milton Keynes at the moment. And here he is. Chris, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you? This is new, isn't it? We're doing a show together, but hundreds of miles apart. So
it's all very strange.
It is very strange. So how have you been? I can see your hair's got a little bit longer.
Yes. I'm all right. Yeah, it's been fine. It's been a bit weird, but it's been weird for everybody, hasn't
Absolutely.
it? But excited to be back. Loads to do. Loads happening. So it's nice to get stuck back in again. And yeah, fine. We're fine.
Yeah, good. Well, I don't know. I've no idea what it is you're going to do. You sent me a picture a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, I've forgotten. But I know it's quite big, and it's Halloween related, so I can't remember the details of it. But let's get to it, Chris.
All right, I'll get going then. Because of all of this pandemic business, everything's going to be different.
Yeah.
So Halloween is going to have a completely different stance. Trick or treating is different. Everything. Different. So we were trying to come up with some ideas where you could still get the Halloween experience without having to come into contact with people, social distancing, all of the things that we need to be so aware of. So what we wanted to try and do was to have a way of the kids or getting their tricks and treats without having, so something that is outside, like yard art, like things that you plant in the thing, but would work with trick or treat.
Yeah.
So we think we've come up with quite a fun idea.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
that's what I want to show you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because there's quite a debate on a local Facebook group of ours, and should people be trick or treating or not trick or treating? It's a big debate as well. It's polar opposites, as so many people are at the moment about various things. But so this will be really interesting. Excellent.
So we'll start. I'm going to use a product that we don't stock, and I don't think you do either, but it's something that is easily available from all sorts of florist wholesalers and things like that, which is your wire hoop with the mesh on. We've
just started stocking small hoops that are about that size, I think. So I think we've got 28 centimeters and 20 centimeters. So not quite right for this, but just we have some hoops.
You have hoops.
We have hoops.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was sort of looking at this and thinking there's going to be plenty of people out there that are going to can fabricate something like this for themselves. It's not a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But it's easier to purchase, and I decided let's go on with it. So I bought 2 or 3 just to play with them, and I actually quite enjoyed working with these. So I'll show you another alternative at the end that doesn't involve this. So that there's different possibilities. But that's what we're going to build the thing on. But I'm going to build a bigger one. So I'll just put that down there for the moment. And then before I actually bring it in, because once it comes into shot, we've quite small space here. It's going to be quite awkward, so I'll just go through what we're going to be using. I'm going to use orange, of course. It's Halloween, so I'm doing a mixture of metallic pearl orange and fashion orange, just so that there's a bit of textural change in there. All 5-inch, so it's nice and easy, and a couple of Reflex lime green 260s.
I feel people are loving Reflex, by the way, Chris. It seems really, really, really popular. See a lot of people talking about it on Facebook and selling quite a bit as well. So
we're so excited about it. When we first brought it in, there was a bit of resistance to it. Fair enough, but it's going crazy. So we're very happy about that, and I absolutely love using it. It's great, and the colours are nice. The lime green in particular. It's a smashing colour anyway, but it works so well with what we're doing now with the Halloween. So a couple of foils, and some jade satin luxe stars. There's all sorts of different techniques in this, so you might need to refer back to earlier BMTVs to refresh, because I'll be doing a bit of heat sealing with these as well.
We remember that.
So all sorts, nice and varied.
Excellent.
So there's going to be quite a lot of Blue Peter moments in this, because otherwise this episode would last for about an hour.
You've not got any elephants coming in the studio, have you?
No elephants, no. No.
That's a Blue Peter moment for very old people, I must point that out.
Yeah, and I'm not going skydiving either. So, but basically what we need to do is firstly switch the pump on. If it hums too loud, I'll switch it off again, you know.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just inflate a few balloons just to give you the idea of what we're after. So inflate them, let them down. We don't need to
They're not the same size, Chris.
Say again?
They're not the same size, are they?
No.
That was intentional, wasn't it?
But I've let one down. Oh yes, yes, it's definitely intentional. And what I also did was to take a handful of the metallic and a handful of the fashion, and then just mix them up. And I'm just using them randomly as they come, so that we get a random textural change. Okay, so lots of these. So a couple of duplets, twist it into 4. You know the drill. Yeah. We need quite a lot of those, depending on the size of the thing that you're going to decorate. So first Blue Peter moment, here's some that I made earlier, which I'll be using to attach the frame in a bit. But before again bring the frame on, I will just do the heat sealing bit. So there is definitely a BMTV with lots of information about custom heat sealing.
There is. We
so
will
I'll whiz
put
through
that on
it
the
quick
screen
now. Yeah, this is a jade green. Quite tonal. Yeah. Just felt that it would be nice to use a jade green rather than an emerald. It's you know, it's just slightly different. So I've got my craft iron, which you've seen before, and I've got it set to 180 degrees, which is the temperature that I've found is most suitable.
And I think you said before you bought that on Amazon, that iron, because we do have people.
Yes.
I heard an interesting fact the other day, going completely off topic. If you were to earn, I think it was something ridiculous, like $250,000 every day from 1,000 years before Jesus was born, every single day until now, you still would not have as much money as Jeff Bezos. That's crazy. I don't know how true that is, but I've not worked it out. But
it's probably very accurate.
That's a tremendous
This
amount
pandemic
of money.
has done him no end of good.
I know,
He's done really well out of this.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Anyway.
Yep. Teflon fabric to stop the stick into the table, but you don't have to, you absolutely have to have that, but it's handy if you do. Yep. So, balloon straw, chopstick, anything small, in through the valve, pull the valve to one side so that the valve is now here. Yep. So I've literally just, and then take the chopstick out, because now we're going to fold it in half. And we've moved the valve out of the way, which means I can now seal down that fold without fear of blocking the balloon. So just literally just press it down. Refer to earlier BMTVs for details. Don't know what the number is, you'll have to look that one up. I'm sorry, Greg.
That's quite all right, Chris.
Should have done my research, shouldn't I? Okay, so I've now sealed all the way down there, and then it can be inflated. I do recommend that you use a hand pump once you've done a heat seal like that, because it could be a little bit violent using an electric pump. So just huff it up, and there's your pumpkin leaf that's going to go on the top.
Such a great effect, just by putting one seal down the middle. It's fantastic.
It's so easy, but it makes such a big difference. One seal, very simple, fold the iron, done. Make 3 of those. I've got some more down here. 3 of them will be good. And then, just in case you're not familiar with it, but we need some curlies as well for the pumpkin tendrils. So 260 reflex lime green, give it a bit of a stretch, and then I like to pre-inflate it. This is just my way of doing it. Everybody's got their own ways, but I will pre-inflate the balloon to stretch it out. Right to the very end.
Yep.
Let it down. And then, whoops, wrap it around your hand pump, making sure that it doesn't twist.
So you're keeping it perfectly flat as you go.
The more wraps you get, the more coils you will have. The tighter you pull it, the tighter coils you'll get. So you can vary the way it looks. And then stick it back on your machine. And voila.
Love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so childish, but I do enjoy making those.
It's like magic, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of those as well. Right. So that's all the components. I can turn my machine off, put it on the floor down here, and remove the iron before I burn myself. And then I've got a little bit more space. Right, so what we're going to do, and I'll just show you on this to begin with, we're going to use the mesh to make it easier to attach this, because this is quite heavy, so trying to wrap little clusters of 5-inch balloons onto here could be tricky, but because it's got the mesh, it really does make it really simple. So if I do it backwards, you'll see what we're at. Take the neck of one of the balloons in the cluster, stick it through a hole, bring it back to the front, wrap it round, job done.
Yeah.
Work your way around there, all the way around, and you'll end up with a nice hoop effect, organic kind of look to it, really, really quickly and easily.
So you put that on the mesh, you didn't put that on the ring itself, is that right? I can't really see.
No, I'll do another one. We wouldn't put them in the middle, but yes, it goes through
just
a hole in the mesh,
yeah,
back through the adjacent hole,
yeah,
and then wrap it round 2 or 3 times.
Simple. Yeah.
Very simple. Don't even have to tie it. So that makes that really easy. So, on the bigger hoop, it's a really big hoop.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well, this is your 4-foot version, but I've started here, all the way around.
Yeah. Started
there, all the way around, just filling this bit at the top, so you can just see the full effect. So take that, push it nice and tightly up against what you've got already, pull it through, wrap it round a couple of times.
Yeah. So you could do a lot of this, obviously, the preparation, because it's all air filled. Do it well. You could prepare the whole thing if you've got a car that's big enough, I guess, to just put it in.
Absolutely,
or a van.
yeah.
So,
very simple, and just deliver the thing.
Yeah.
And it does last a while. Shall I tell them? Shall I? Yeah.
Wait, telling us. What are you telling us?
Well, I'm this. I sent you the photograph. What? I don't know. 10 days ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. This is the same balloons. I just, bit lazy, didn't have much time yesterday, so I just took them all off, made sure that they were all right, put them all back on again.
That's great.
It's the same balloons.
And it does last that long.
And they last, you know, so yes, you could definitely pre-prepare this a good time in advance and just deliver it on site. So we'll fill in the gap. And then if you need to, you can add in a few singles or individual ones or extra clusters just to give it a bit of extra texture. Let's see, we could do with a bit more there. So I'll add in another one in there like that. Just squash them all together.
So So you've shown us when you've done the training down here, you've shown us you actually made your own big hoop. I mean, it was a huge hoop, wasn't it? It was 8 feet tall or something. And I guess this is a version of that, but it's so much easier because of the mesh.
Yes. Yeah. The mesh thing is actually a real... I did look at it for quite some time, thinking, why would I want that?
Yeah.
Now I know. I've got so many ideas as to what we can do with the mesh hoops.
Yeah.
And I've seen obviously lots on social media that other people have used, and yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
So might be something that you want to sort of invest in, because it's going to be used over and over and over. I feel like I'm in a cage now.
Yeah.
Let me out. Okay, so fill it all the way round like that. Then we're going to put the leaves on the top here.
Okay.
So as I said, make 3. And then I've just grabbed the necks together. Yeah. Tied them round with an uninflated 260, but I'll just add another one in there for... No, not yet. Tied... Yes. Step back. Okay. So I grabbed the necks together and just tied them around with a scrap of 260 to hold them all together.
So you literally just grabbed 3 necks, bit of 260.
3 necks,
tie it round.
Bit of scrap, tied it together. Very, very simple. 3 curlies, tied at the knots. But I'm going to add then another uninflated 260 there, so that we can then use that to attach the curlies in the middle of the leaves.
Perfect.
And use the other end of it here to attach the leaves to the top of the frame. So again, just pull it through some balloons, wrap it round a couple of times to secure it. And position it however you like. Better?
That's great.
A little bit of shuffling involved.
Move it around however you want to get it just about right.
Because you've got the stretch of the 260, so you can just literally keep pushing it about until you're happy with where it sits. So really, really easy from that point of view. Right, a couple of bits of stretchy balloon tape.
Yeah.
I do not know how we ever managed without that stuff.
I know, it's great.
I really have no idea how we did it. We'll put this up here, because now I'm just going to attach my foils. That's why I've left this gap. So this is really big.
It is.
This is a massive balloon, but it works really well in proportion with the rest of this design.
Yeah.
And once again, the mesh comes in really handy. Except I've lost a bit of my stretchy tape. There it is. Because I can put the stretchy tape on the back, just there.
Okay.
So I've literally put it across one of the struts of the mesh.
Yeah.
And then I can position the balloon where I want it to be. And stick it down, and that will hold it in place. So the tension between the latex on the frame and the foil just holds it nice and tight against the framework there.
Your pumpkin's
and
got
then just for a little bit of extra detail.
Your pumpkin's got a second nose.
Go ahead.
It's got a second nose. Your pumpkin. Look, it's got a bit of tape on the front.
Oh, aye.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm just going to add, I'll put it down again for a moment.
So that's just one piece of tape holding that on. That's fantastic.
It's looking fun. I mean, I've done it in the traditional, more or less traditional, apart from the jades, but I've done it in the traditional orange, but there's quite a move this year to the non-traditional colours. We've got a whole range of stuff that's in sort of pinks and delicate shades, so it could look really cool in those colours as well. So I just inflate the 18-inch, the standard balloon, take the tail out of the way, a bit of balloon bond will do that nicely. And then another bit, and we can stick that onto the front like that, just to give a little bit of extra depth, a little 3D effect. So line up where you want it to go. Okay, so far so good. There is the design, which looks cool, would look great just on the front step as it is, but we want this to be a trick or treat thing.
Yeah.
So the whole idea really of why we started using the mesh frame is so that we can then attach our treats to the front of the frame. And as the visitors, the trick-or-treaters come to the house, they can then be directed to take off a treat. So whatever you wish. I've made up some little bags here.
Ah, look at that.
Little party bags with the treats in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just going to tie them loosely with a little bow onto the mesh frame.
It does rely on people not being greedy, doesn't it?
Yes, well, hopefully they will still ding the doorbell and do the, you know, but for socially distancing, and then the householder can say, please take a treat, and stand over them with a big stick to beat them if they take more than one, or something like that. But it can be supervised.
It sounds good.
So yeah, we got little selections, so you can tie as many or as few onto here.
And then some of them can have sweets in, and some of them can have asparagus in, or broccoli, or something
Brussels
like that.
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts, yeah.
Lovely Brussels sprouts.
Actually, that would be a bit cruel, wouldn't it? Imagine the child getting home and opening the bag and finding Brussels sprouts. That would be horrible.
Well, things are very different, as we said at the beginning. You know, so perhaps on this occasion, this year, is the year that you don't actually get a choice between a trick or a treat. It's random. Some of these can have treats in and some can have tricks in. And you don't know what it is until you've chosen. I like that. Okay, so I'm not going to waste everybody's time by tying all of those on now, but you get the concept.
That's brilliant.
And I think that could work really well.
I really love
as a socially distanced trick or treat decor idea.
Well, what we'll do, we'll take some pictures of this when it's completed and you've got more bags on there, and we'll put that on the screen full. And I think it's great because it's so simple, number one, and you can I guess apply it for any kind of event. It doesn't have to be obviously Halloween. You've done Halloween because Halloween's coming up in a couple of weeks. But it's a great technique.
I'm thinking something like this could be fun at a wedding, you know, even when weddings start to happen properly again. But yes, all decorated out in the reception with little gifts for the guests, or all sorts of things.
You could put photos of the bride and groom on there from across the years as well, and clip those on. I guess there's so many things.
Yes, you can do. That would also work.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Let's just put that down, because just did a slight variation of it.
Okay.
If you haven't got the hoop, or you don't want to use the hoop with the mesh, and you just want to use a standard hoop, then a similar kind of idea would be something like this.
Yeah.
So it's just a plain hoop, decorated similarly, but here we've hung little Halloween pails in which the treats could be. So you can just come along and take one from that. So, you know, 2 possibilities of the same idea.
Yeah.
Of socially distanced trick-or-treating.
No, that's fantastic. I love it, Chris, as always. Fantastic, fantastic ideas. Now, I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been a bit different. It's strange not having you stood right here. And I do feel a little bit like one of the sign language people at the bottom of the screen there. But I think it's worked. But of course, one thing we can't leave without is a question of the week, Chris. And as the guest, you come up with the question of the week. So what's it going to be?
Well, considering I've had about 6 months in which I could have thought of one, it still always takes me by surprise.
I'm sorry.
It's Halloween, isn't it? So what's your favourite trick or what's your favourite treat?
Okay, fantastic. What's your favourite trick or your favourite treat? Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Chris, thank you very much for this. It's been great. I hope we can do more of these over the coming months until you can eventually come down here. We've got a screen that we put up, so you know you would be safe from me. Thanks very much.
As far as I'm concerned, I'd be there in a shot, but
well,
you know,
I completely
we've got to follow the guidelines that we're issued. So one day. No. But this wasn't bad. You know, I was really nervous at the beginning.
I think it's really good, and you don't have to worry about driving all the way down here.
That's true.
Yeah, but no, thanks very much for this.
It's been a pleasure. It's been lovely to see you.
And you. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe. And from both myself and Chris, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.